What's going on, folks? Marcin here. Sip of water. Happy New Year, guys. January 1st, I was contemplating on like, should I go live? Should I not go live? But hey, New Year 2026, we are gonna hit it hard, and we're gonna attempt to build our photography businesses, right? So I figured, wife went for a walk, kids are outside playing, and I figured, you know what, I'm actually gonna go live and talk to you about something that's very important. Because as we're building photography businesses, we have to make sure that we build assets, digital assets that are working for us 24/7. That's what I do. Try to do as much as I can all the time, because it's you need in today's world, on all the social media platforms. You have to have stuff out there that works for you 24/7. That attracts people, that nurtures your future potential clients. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. And if you're running into this content for the first time, I'm Marcin. I've done photography for the last 17 years successfully. I primarily focus on events, and corporate shoots, but most likely for me, it's weddings. And I'm here every Thursday, just kind of picking one thing from the map. For those of you that want to build photography businesses and make money with your cameras, and I try to move you forward. We try to push the needle a little bit and a little bit and a little bit. There's quite a few things to like cover when you're building the business. Not everything has to be built on day one, but I'm basically taking what has been working for me. Sometimes it's something that I have paid $2,000 for. Sometimes it's a coach that I have worked with for 6 months. So I have spent both time and money, kind of everything that I share with you guys. It's not something that I have invented. Nothing here is original. It's just something that took a very long time and a lot of money to get to make it successful. And that's what I'm doing here. A total transparency. The channel is built. I always invite you to the new community that I'm establishing. And let's see if I can flash a QR code here. This is something that you can scan, and this will get you to, if you want to get in touch with me, if you want to hop on the school train, I invite you for the first. There is no paywall. Everything is free. I'm setting everything up, and I'm basically available for you guys to answer any questions as I'm polishing things up and setting everything up. For the first 100 people, it's absolutely free. So just hop in there. This is my official invite for you. If you can scan QR code, you're going to find it under proimageacademy.com/school. So that's kind of the maintenance items. Like I said, 2026. Before we talk about the topic, 2026, I actually kicked it off with a very kind of a gift. A nice surprise. Today we're going to be talking about creating digital assets, right? And a lot of those things are either PDF formats, online surveys. We're going to talk about a lot about content creation. And as you can see, I don't know if you remember, if you have seen a couple of the episodes, it's like new year, new me. Not really. I'm still the same Marcin. I still look the same, but around me, Santa Claus brought some new shelves. I finally have more space to put my books on. I was super psyched about this. I ran the lighting and everything. I was super excited, kind of like a kid. I was playing with the lights the other day. So maybe not new me, but like newer space. And then you guys can probably see this puppy over here from Mono. This microphone arrived. Mono was kind enough to send me this piece asking for an honest review. Seems like they know what they're doing, because I'm very happy with the results. You guys can see it on the edge of the screen. Let's see if I can pull it up here and just show you something. Mind blowing. No cables. Can you guys see my hand? No cables. So super psyched about that, because not only it can be here in the studio, there's no cables here, but I can just grab it and I can go outside and and I don't have to drag anything with me. So just for comparison, this is what I've been shooting here before. This is the Rode video mic. This is what I had mounted on the boom arm here before. Quality fantastic. Quality is fantastic. It's studio quality. If you're wondering, let me see if I can grab the box for you. If you're wondering, like if you need something, a good mic for your content creation, this is a lot of times people ask like what model or whatever. So this one is a mono PD200W. So this is what the box looks like. It actually felt really good. Like when I opened it up, it feels like a quality mic. You open it up, it's a big box. Right now it's empty, right? Because the mic is installed. But really nice really nice box with like a 2-level setup here. Because they also shipped the mic with the new boom arm. So psyched about that. Very good, nice quality stuff. It's like I said, it's a studio. I mean, you guys can't hear it. It's clear, quiet. It's really, really super nice. It's studio quality audio. It's an extremely quiet microphone. Awesome noise cancellation. The nice thing, which I already mentioned, is it's a hybrid, what they call a hybrid mic. So there's the little dongle mic comes with those two little attachments, add-ons. One is a USB-C receiver, so you can just plug that into your phone or your laptop. There's a lot of extensions that you can use. And this way you can just grab the mic, no wires. You can plug that into your whatever other device, whether it's your computer, it's your iPad, it's your phone, and you're all set. It's a plug and play. There's really nothing for you to set up. So that's awesome. And then the other thing is, before when I had the video mic, I had 3.5 millimeter cable running here. And what you can do with that is they also send you a TRS receiver, which is just another receiver. So I unplugged my video mic and I plugged the cable into this receiver. Same thing. I didn't have to worry about anything else. So super nice, plug and play, really, which is super nice. It has a number of options here on the microphone. I know you can't see the other side. Maybe I can show you. Let me see. I took some pictures for you guys just so you could see. Let me see if I can just flash onto the screen here. So this is the back of the mic. It has the USB-C cable. You can charge it that way. And then you have XLR for for those professional podcasters out there. You guys can still hook it up to your cable. You don't have to. You can just go wireless. Right now, mine is not attached to anything. I just have the thing plugged into my computer. So that's super nice. Let me see if I have a side shot here. You guys can see on top, there's a little dial. It's super cool because you can quickly mute it in case somebody walks in or whatever, you're on a call, because obviously you're going to be using it for different things. So it has a mute button, and then it has a dial, and the dial is a dual purpose dial because it controls your gain. And for those of you that are not familiar, it's how sensitive your mic is, right? Gives you more juice, more power, makes it louder or less. And then when you press it and hold it, you can also control your headphones output. So because you can plug in your headphones directly and kind of hear the audio, which is super cool, because if you want to monitor the audio where you're out there, maybe you're outside shooting a podcast, right? You can still monitor your audio. So that's nice. And the other thing also, I noticed when I'm doing, do I have another image? Let me just make sure I show you guys. This is just another side shot, and this is the top view. So it's you can see the mute button. It has a nice light ring around. My favorite is yellow, kind of to match the glasses. It's not yellow; it's actually orangish. But we dudes are really, really weak with colors. So, but I have it set to orange, but you can set it to any color, including a little rainbow or white or whatever, or you can turn it off if it bothers you. But it's very cool. And the nice thing also was I noticed it has, if you're recording with somebody, let's say, you're doing an interview, both mics kind of, they split to two different tracks. So if I start laughing like a donkey, when doing an interview, I can just pull my fader, I can just lower my voice and the other voice stays perfect. So Usually when you try to clean it up with audio, for those of you that know, like the audio gets confused because it doesn't know which spike to clean. So you have you have it separately. And it's just kind of cool because it screws onto the boom arm. But I also see folks, they have like a little nice desk stand, so you can put it in front of you, which is super convenient. I got to tell you, I am surprised, and I am surprised not because a company makes a good microphone, quality microphone that works great, but it kind of resembles other microphones that are out there in the market, and I got to tell you, super affordable. So I would definitely consider. This is depending on what the options. Like if you get it with a boom arm, it's a little more. But this mic is at around less than $100. Like it's just for the quality, for what it is. You guys can't hear me right now. Super nice. I was looking at alternative options, and like it's usually over $200 or three, or sometimes close to 400, right? And this is really fantastic. So Mano, I really appreciate you guys sending this for a review. And I think that's it. I think I've spent enough time talking about a mic. Let's go back to the content. So today we're talking about assets that we will be producing that are working for us. And I, of course, have slideshows for you guys. We'll go through the slides. And then I'll kind of talk through each slide and let you know what I mean by like digital assets. I think in the title, in the event title, I did mention 24 assets. I'm not going to be going through all the 24. I wanted to give you an idea of like what the assets are, what are the different types of assets, what do they do, and in the end, I'm going to do like a quick run, machine gun style. I'll go and just mention like few in different categories, just so you guys can kind of connect. Like, oh yeah, at least it's going to be some sort of like a quick checklist. Like I got to make sure I have those covered. And I just wanted to say, you are not going to have all the assets available immediately, but the name of the game here is to like understand and realize that you shouldn't be spending time building assets that do nothing for you. And the common example, if you have watched my episodes previously, you know that I always talk about even like website is an asset, but it has to be the right website. If somebody lands on your website and reads about your team or you probably may want to rethink that. It's good for clients to know who you are, but like a lot of companies talk about the details of the product, or like show their office space, or show their team. And like a lot of times clients, it's like we want them to care so much about our office space, but it's like clients don't care. They care what they care about. They want to solve their problem, whatever the problem is, right? And a lot of times you have to address their specific needs, their specific questions, and that's really the name of the game. Like the other one that I use that's always common problem for everybody is like name or a logo. Let me tell you, clients don't care. How do I know? Because I've asked enough times, right? And I work in product space, right? I work with other companies, pretty big, solid names in US, right? And product is all about like working with the customer, asking the client. Like just because you imagine something or build something doesn't mean that it will automatically attract people. Like, and I always use a simple example, like a nice car. Like a nice car means different thing to somebody living down south, which is like pickups are in fashion, right? Like trucks are what these guys need, right? Where if you go north, it could be different. It could be I don't know, one of the like common brands or whatever, right? You guys know what those brands are, but it's different. For a soccer mom, a nice car could be a nice van, right? This is an exotic car. For a guy that's trying to get in the right circle and looking for an exotic car, he probably doesn't need a van. I don't know. Can you guys? This is a good test for Mike. Can you guys hear my dog? I hope not. But you get the idea. Like when we're developing a product, if we're developing a car, like we have to know who we are developing the product for. And a lot of times we're like, oh, we're just gonna have a nice logo. We polish our ego, like, oh, we have a great logo, and like nobody cares. So just remember about that. Over time, yes, we have to have a name, we have to have a logo, we have to have a website, but like make sure that first you focus on assets, things that you can put out there that bring people into your world, right? Logo is not going to do that for you, right? So this is exactly what we're going to talk about today. Let me see if I can pull up slides. Oh, by the way, as I'm pulling up slides, remember, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, you guys have an option of, just you can leave comments. And I'm hoping my comments are working. So if you are watching, actually, let me open it up on my phone, because I always see it. For some reason, this one, my desktop is delayed today. But let me see if I can see you guys here on my phone. I always bring it up because you guys can ask questions as I go, and I stop and I address any questions you may have. So okay, so I have it now here. That should help us on my phone here, and let's bring up slides. Is the lighting okay? Is it a little bright in here? Give me 1 second. Maybe that's a little better. All right. So slides. Let's see if this works for us. All right, cool. 24 assets that work for you. Transform your brand into a 24/7 marketing machine with strategic digital assets that attract, engage, and convert, even while you sleep. And immediately I'm going on to a second slide. There you go. Every asset's purpose first. Every asset must earn its keep. And the forcing function, this is a term that I have heard recently, which kind of connected dots for me. Forcing function. So whenever like I said, hey, make sure you work on the right assets first. This is exactly what I'm talking about. So like when you produce an asset, it should kind of fall within like 3 categories of the forcing function. It's something that before, like the slide says, before creating anything, you ask yourself those questions. Does this asset save me time? So let's say client calls and asks me the same question over and over and over and over again, right? I can then create either a PDF file, I can create an email, I can create an infographic, I can create a video, I can put it as an FAQ on my website. Like those are the assets I'm talking about. So like next time somebody reaches out, they probably won't reach out because they already have the asset out there working for you, answering that question. But also if it's like a longer answer, right? You can record this video like I do right now for you guys. And if somebody's asking me like, what are you talking about digital assets, right? Like, what do? I don't have to say the same thing. It'll probably take us 45 minutes to go through this material. I don't have to do it again. I can just take a link and send you guys the link and say, just watch that video, right? So like imagine how much time, like if 10 people reach out, like one person reaches out, right? I save myself an hour, right? 10 people, like 10 hours. But like, what if you get, 100 people reach out, right? You guys can see how like quickly this can escalate into like big numbers and time savings, right? So does this save me time? Does this generate revenue, right? Does logo generates revenue? No. Does it help with like converting a client? It's not like your client comes and you're like, hey, you go through your product, like here's what it is, here's the price, and they're like kind of undecided, and you're like, here's my logo. Right? The logo is not going to do the job, right? It's nice to have. It's of course for like branding, look and feel. But like I said, I'm off the logo wagon. I'm not going to complain about it anymore. Well, can't promise that. But does this generate revenue? Does it help with conversion? Is it an asset that you can, in depending on where you are and what space, you can create assets that you can sell as upsells, right? So if client comes in, let's say they're coming in, they want to learn about your products, and they're kind of iffy, maybe they're looking for something else, and it's like maybe you can produce a brochure that shows them like the different types of albums or products that you have, right? That's an asset. You can have a PDF. You can just flash it on your computer, and immediately they're like, yeah, we'll take this package plus this, right? And like you automatically just made more money. So this is what I'm talking about in terms of assets that generate revenue. And ideally it does both. I always say make money. It could be save money also, and generate revenue, right? So like those are the three questions. Why this matters? Purpose-driven assets work harder than you do. They attract qualified leads. They answer common questions and build authority automatically. Stop creating content that just sits there, like a logo. Build assets that actively grow your business. So this is for this slide, and there is this thing concept. There's one concept that I actually didn't include on the slide, but I want to cover it for you guys. So Professor Dunbar, one of the good guys, wrote studied this phenomenon actually with people, and he's a number guy, right? And he always says this, numbers like we have the 5 closest people, then we have like 15 that are like close people, maybe a neighbor, like people that we know really well, and then it like the number triples every time. So from 15 it goes to 45. Those are the people that we usually see like every day. It could be like people in the office or wherever you work, right? And then it goes to like 150, which is like people that normally you invite to weddings, right? Like close extended circle, right? Like close people and extended. And then it goes 450, which is usually people that we know like by name or talk to at some point during the year, right? And then you triple that to like 1500, and this is anybody, right? Like you think famous names, celebrities, authors, anybody. Like if somebody says the name Einstein, like you can kind of recall the face and you know who it is, right? Even though you never met the person. And our goal is always to be in our client's world, like we have to enter in this 1500, right? Like we almost have to make sure that when they think, how sometimes we think, I don't know, fixing a car, and like we automatically can think of a local mechanic. If we say, hey, somebody like can prepare like a birthday cake, like we usually have someone, right? If you guys think any product that you think about, like just make up a product in your mind, and you automatically kind of know like this store carries that product. Like we have those links, right? We have those connection points, and we as photographers have to make sure that we enter that circle of 1500. So when client thinks photography, they think Marcin, right? Or Julie, right? Or Peter, or Dorothy, or Roman, or whoever, right? So it's important to understand that, and that's why we're creating digital assets so that we can stay in our clients' world, on top of their radar. And this way, when they think of photography at any point in life, whether it's christening, whether it's baptism, whether it's first communion, whether it's wedding, whether it's work related, corporate work, whether it's anything, weddings, right? They automatically can associate that to your name, right? So that's one concept, and then the other one is there's this rule called 4711. Or 7411 or 1174. I think it's 1174. I think I heard about it for the first time about 4 years ago, where it started making sense because this has been studied. So the number 11 came from Google. I think they ran numbers on how many times client have like interactions before they purchase a product, right? So how many times, like first they maybe are searching for a product and they're looking at, you as a photographer as an option. So like you come up in their world, right? Like you kind of surface up in their world, and then after a while, now you become part of like the consideration. They're trying to like compare you maybe to somebody else. They're looking again. They're visiting the website, and it's another few 3, 2, 4 interactions. And in the end, when they're like ready to make a decision, they again reach out, and it's another interaction because they're in the meeting with you. Maybe they exchange emails. So like those numbers add up to 11 interactions, and usually clients need at least 11, or like 11 is the magic number, where they where they interact, where they actually buy, right? So think about it. Like with your assets, you provide them this opportunity. It's not like they come into you, they show up in your world, and immediately you sit down with them and they book. That usually never happens. They don't know you. They don't. It's this know, like, and trust. They don't know you. They don't like you. They don't trust you. You have to develop that trust. You have to develop the, you have to give them the ability. You have to give them the reason to like you, right, and to trust you. And that's what we do with assets. So 11, we have that covered. And then we have number 7, which is 7 hours YouTube did a study where they went deep, and it's like clients usually convert when they have a chance to consume 7 hours of your content. And that doesn't have to be video content, it's anything. So sometimes they're on your website for half an hour just browsing through your online gallery. That's like half an hour there. Maybe they're researching you or looking up, maybe they're looking up your like business page on Facebook. Maybe they're on your Facebook profile. Like those minutes, they all add up. And now we know that it's like YouTube, when they looked at consumption of people that are converting from their ads, it's 7 hours is the magic number. So like, think about it. You have to have an asset. If you produce like a PDF that helps your client, and they sit and read it for half an hour, that develops this reciprocity inside them, right? Like it's almost like you sitting there and explaining a concept, an idea, and that's why it works. So we have 11, 7, and 4. 4 is essentially like you have to interact with them on 4 different platforms. And nothing is written in stone. Like you don't have to have 11 times. That doesn't mean every client will be 11 interactions or need they will never, they may not need 7 hours. Same with the 4 platforms. It's like, but you will interact with them on like 4 different platforms usually. And when I say platforms, it could be like email, could be think of it as like a channel, right? So like email could be 1, your website could be number 2, your Facebook profile could be number 3, and your Facebook business page could be 4, or maybe your Instagram account, maybe your YouTube, your YouTube channel, right, with some helpful videos. So this is what I have on a slide here. Let's just go back here for a second. Simple framework to maximize every asset you create. 4 platforms. Focus your energy where your audience already spends time, not everywhere at once. 7 hours of content. Create enough valuable content to keep prospects engaged throughout their decision journey. And 11 interactions. Build trust through meaningful touch points that move people from stranger to customer. So I've pretty much covered that. And now we're moving to sort of like types of assets, because they all kind of do they all do serve like a different purpose. And build credibility assets is like one of them. So here we're talking about credibility is you have to build that to like for the client to understand that like, yeah, he has done it enough of times, like he's been out there for a while. If client lands on your Facebook profile and you have 3 images posted, like, is that going to be a lot of authority and credibility? Like, yeah, probably not, right? And that's a common mistake that we do. Let's say we post a picture to our Facebook profile, and then we put a lot of junk there, right? And when clients land, and then we do like another photo, and then we do more junk, and then we do another photo, and maybe like every 3 weeks we have one piece of content out there on a Facebook profile. That's why very often I tell people, and this is something I have learned from other coaches, where it's like, when you're on Facebook, you can actually convert it into a business tool. If you're curious, you can go to my profile. Like I've built it based on the other examples that I have seen that are working. And you have to make sure that there's enough of information, enough meat on the bone. So when the client lands there, it's like, because everybody's on Facebook, right? First thing they do is like they look you up there. So you have to make sure that when they land there, that it actually shows in the work. And it doesn't have to be your profile. It could be your business page, if that is your choice. You don't have to have 2, is what I'm saying. You can just do it on your profile. I have business page that I care less about. So it's not like you have to be on all the platforms, like I mentioned before. Just pick one at the very beginning, and like just be diligent about one platform for like, I like to say 8 to 10 months. To be safe, I can say 12, right? But like, if you dedicate the time, you can just go, and 3 months is enough. If at the beginning you go heavier, you just have to build enough to like, so when the client lands, they see like, oh, there's enough. If they usually people scroll down twice or 3 times, so it's not like you have to have, pages and pages and pages of content, but like you have to have enough so when they scroll usually twice or 3 times, they see content, right? And then it's always good to have like maybe post at least once a week on onto your profile, so when they look at the date, it's like, oh, that's pretty recent. You don't want to land on somebody's page and then see that like, oh, last time they posted it was like 6 months ago, right? So again, it's about credibility, it's about authority, and that's why we put those things out there, those assets, those pictures, those posts, those short videos, or PDF files, right? We'll talk about the actual examples later, but that's what they do. So blog, I mentioned 3 examples here. Blog posts, they answer your audience burning questions. They rank in search. Position yourself as the go-to expert in your niche. Usually people, blogs were like super popular back in the day. Now you can just do like, a short blog on your website. If you put literally 5, 6, 7, let's say 10 articles, now it's easier because you have AI. So like you can just generate it using your actual voice. This is exactly what I like when I spend time with like individuals and students. I show them exactly how to train AI to like use their voice and their company information, not just some generic like give me a marketing message for photographers. Like that's nonsense. It never works, right? Because 2,000 other photographers from the same state are doing the exact same thing. But like, you have to kind of understand how to do that. But you can then use AI, leverage AI, and then like AI will do the most of the work for you, or at least set up a framework that you can then refine. Let's call it that. Then we have YouTube videos. I absolutely love YouTube. The reason for that is because it's stuff like this. You guys can sit there and like, I go live. You have ability to like hop in and ask questions, right? You can leave comments. You can provide feedback. You can see me. You can hear me. You can kind of like have a mental profile of who I am just by the way I talk, right? Some people I'm gonna like. There's gonna be a bunch of people that they don't vibe, as my 14-year-old says. There will be a bunch of people that like won't vibe with me. Great, go somewhere else, right? And there's going to be a bunch of people that are going to come from another place here and be like, I like the transparency. I like just this direct sort of style and a way of like, teaching and talking about photography and sharing information. And I absolutely love it because it's like, it brings the right people into my world. It probably, yeah, I don't like the word filter, but sometimes it filters people, like it serves like a repellent, so that people get to just kind of experience and see, and they can choose what they want to do. But like, YouTube videos are there 24/7. People are searching 24/7. I sleep, videos are still there, still getting searches. I go to bed, I get up the next day, and there's like 35 or 40 or 58 or 111 new subscribers, right? So it's like people go, they check out the content, they like it, they follow you, eventually they reach out with questions, and this is how they end up in my world. YouTube was actually purchased by Google, so everything is indexed. What that means is basically, people can search for it, right? So I know most of you guys know, but like there could be somebody that doesn't. So I apologize sometimes when I get like too rudimentary, but like, but that's what happens. So like YouTube, you have the tags, they search, there's a title, there's a description, there's tags with your video, and if YouTube detects that somebody's there, right, like watches your content, and there's another video relevant to like the next question they have, automatically YouTube will serve them content. So it's like, you don't have to worry about it at all. It's not an email you don't have to remember. It's off my mind. a lot of times, I'm being asked like, because I think I have like, I don't know, 40 followers on Instagram. And I'm like, great. Like I'm happy about the 60. It doesn't have to be a high number. YouTube is what I really, really care about. And like, not that I'm negligent about Instagram, but it's nothing close in terms of the content and material. I have some shorts and some images. And if somebody comes across and it's more for like that platform is more for awareness, not catering to my clients, then they can consume, check out more awareness, click on my profile. If they like my stuff, they usually click on the link to go to YouTube or my Facebook profile anyway. And this is when we start conversations. So enough about YouTube. Last one was the podcast. It's kind of nice because sometimes I can leverage platforms. So right now, I'm actually the episodes that I have. I just for 2026, I'm rolling out an interview series with photographers just to show you guys behind a curtain peek for like what happens when somebody's doing food photography, what like what's happening, what's required if somebody's doing like headshots, what's needed if somebody's doing weddings, what's required if somebody's doing seniors. So like it's pretty cool because you guys get to see like these photographers that a lot of times we like put on a pedestal and admire. They're just regular dudes, right? Regular girls that struggled at one point, eventually, like bruised after a couple of years. They get to like this super high level, and it's like we want to bring them into like your world and just show like, listen, they simply just did the work, right? So what I'm planning on doing is like taking the interviews. You'll find them on the YouTube channel, but also which again, if you joined later, I'll just quickly flash the QR code. But you can get to the YouTube channel here. But I can grab the video one and convert it to like an MP3 and throw it as a podcast. So when somebody's like in the gym or maybe on a road, they can definitely check it out later. Or listen to it as they exercise or whatever. So you can convert it into other media, right? Well, if those recordings that I do with you guys lives, they become like shorter episodes. Sometimes I pull stuff from like the basically the videos that I share with my students. Sometimes I take those videos that I do live and put them through like AI and just create a bunch of clips, and I then reuse them on other platforms. So here we're back. This is the podcast reach audiences during commutes or workouts, build authority through consistent, valuable conversations. So you guys already know that these assets work together, repurpose one piece of content across all three platforms to maximize impact. I already said that. So we should be good here. And then we're kind of changing a category. This one is capture and convert. Capture and convert. So this one is a little different. This one is not for like developing this sense of like, oh, I know who this person is. This one is about actually bringing leads into your world. And I have a couple examples here. The slide have free guides and ebooks. It has interactive quizzes, it has templates and tools, and then webinars and workshops. What I do here is like when I go live, it's another asset. It's sitting out there with information. Clients usually watch it. They reach out with questions, or they go on Facebook, DM, or they now with school community. They'll be joining the school community and just kind of viewing free information first before they ever like purchase anything. So capture and convert. Let's go back and revisit quickly. Free guides and ebooks solve one specific problem in exchange for an email address. You capture the email address, and then you just kind of stay in contact. You maintain that relationship, cultivate that relationship. And you answer questions as you go along. Interactive quizzes engage prospects while gathering valuable data about their needs. So you can run a quiz. Everybody's curious on where they are with different things. So phenomenal way of capturing leads. templates and tools give immediate value that showcases your expertise and saves time. I know I was working with Joanna the other day. She needed some sort of like a special calculator that for intermittent fasting that helps kind of ladies and guys estimate like what they could not whatever eat, and it's basically about like burn rate, so you don't mess your metabolic rate. Totally irrelevant for this, but it's a tool. It's a calculator. When she sends it out, it's like, hey, here's my free tool. You can just plug in a number instead of going through like 7 different formulas to arrive at the number. Super, super helpful. Clients super happy with it. And this is an example of a tool. And then webinars and workshops, Tech Live. This is where we are. Build trust and naturally transition to your offer. Lead generation, asset, turn traffic into relationships. They're the bridge between awareness and purchase. So you can see like this is a little different than what we had previously. And the next one is nurture and deepen relationships. So now they're in your world. You have you have captured your client's email, so they can stay on your radar. You can send them stuff that's relevant to what they're looking for. Right? You're not trying to spam anybody. You're basically helping people, providing information that they're seeking. So examples here will be like email newsletter, stay top of mind with consistent value delivery straight to inboxes. You don't do it every day. You do it maybe once a week. I know some people out there are like, big proponents. They'll send more than one a week. But just be careful. Be sensible. You're like, how do you like to receive, like, think about what you're seeing in your inbox, what you're unsubscribing. This is what's actual value, and that's what's helpful. And as you create your campaigns, there's an episode on the YouTube channel dedicated to that. With your email campaigns configuration and automation, you're staying relevant. You're staying on a radar for your client for a longer period of time. Now with marketing AI and kind of where we are at the beginning of 2026, it's a lot of noise out there, guys. So conversions cycles are much longer. Like, don't be shocked if somebody comes to you to have a conversation and they tell you that they've been in your world without you even knowing for the last like 10 to like 14 months. Like, people take their time. There's a lot of like scams out there, a lot of people that have no idea, a lot of people that just like read information, go and try to like sell or teach or do whatever. So people just like to take their time and see what's going on. And that's why you have to be out there long enough for them to be like, yeah, this is legit. This sounds like a real deal. So, but back here to the slide, social communities create spaces where your audience connects with you and each other. For me, like right now it's Facebook group, could be business page. But the thing is, with school community especially, I wanted like have people there just because I may like be focusing. So it's like the idea is to tell you how to build a business profitable with systems, everything in place, SOPs, so you understand enough about like business, what needs to happen, social media marketing, and the thing is, and AI, right? And the thing is that I may spend less time on, let's say, headshot photography, right? But there's going to be a bunch of guys that focus just on that. And sometimes it's like when you have a specific like lighting question, or like, should I go with panel or should I go with, like some sort of bouncing light against what, like, there's going to be people that are going to answer that specific question better than probably than I could, right? So even though I've been doing this for 17 years, right? So communities are very, very important. And then live sessions, like in this case, when I do it, super helpful because you have this immediate interaction with people. For those that want to interact, they have ability to do it. And I'm not saying do it. I remember when I did it for the first time, I was petrified. And over time, you just do it enough times where it's just, think about it. Like, did you ever, like, you were not born knowing how to tie your shoes, right? Or how to hold a fork. But with enough of repetitions, it's, you don't even think about it, right? And the same thing with lives. Trust me, you go out there, you do it, you kind of fumble, it kind of sounds weird, I get it, and then over time you do like five, six, seven, you find your voice, and you're you're in this position, right? Talking to people, talking to the camera, and it feels normal. So that's that. The money is in the relationship. These assets transform one-time visitors into loyal advocates who buy repeatedly and refer others. The power of 11 interactions. I already kind of covered this, so we're not gonna. Research shows people need multiple touch points, so I think it's a duplicate because I've covered enough on the other slide. And then the one thing here, it says how it works. First interaction is awareness, right? So like that's the part of that the 11-hour block. It's the awareness. They are blog posts, social media interactions. It's education, so it could be videos, could be guides, could be emails. Interactions, like it's a interaction 6-9. It's the consideration, so it's basically case studies, testimonials. They're just getting a proof, trying to see like, okay, this works. I'm just going to look, is everything working? Is everything up to date? And then decision, which is a direct outreach, conversation, and eventually sale. So that's what I was covering here. And the item here that's very important for you guys. I hate calling it a homework, Civil Espresso, but a plan for you. Like, so how do I do it? Where do I start? Start building today. So it's not about like, do I have all the assets in place? I always, in terms of productivity, guys, I spend enough time there to like know that you just have to dedicate time window, and the rest will take care of itself. And the bigger the window, or the more frequent the window, the faster you'll get there. So it's just that realization, like, hey, are you in a rush? The window has to be bigger. Like you have to spend, instead of 20 minutes on an asset a week, maybe you want to put in 4 hours, right? And it's entirely up to you. You may have an hour on Monday, hour on Wednesday, 2 hours on Saturday. Like, you figure it out, but like you'll definitely get there quicker with 4 hours a week than 15 minutes a week, right? So that obviously makes sense. And commit the time, 30 minutes daily or 2 hours weekly to start to build enough assets. You need 5, you need 10, you maybe 15, right? It's enough to, like, when somebody's asking a question, you can just send them the file, you can send them to the video, you can send them the link. So this is what your target should be, between 30 minutes to 2 hours every week for, let's say, a month or 2 months. If you can get there faster, better. I mean, you're going to be in a better position. But choose one asset, pick the format that feels more natural to you. So if you're like anti YouTube video, a lot of people, do I have to be on video? You don't have to start your business, to be honest. Is it better if you have your business and you do video? Absolutely, right? It's like a 10x, 20x, 50x, 100x multiplier, right? So like, you choose where you are. Nobody tells you what to do. You do you. But we have to be honest and say, yes, if you do have the assets, if you do have the website, if you have 4 or 5 videos that you can send them to on your website or YouTube, it doesn't matter. Like, is that going to be better chances of booking? Absolutely, not even a question. So, but pick something you feel comfortable with. If PDF is the thing you want to just knock out, do that first, right? If you want to do something on a business page, just do that, right? And then as you get more comfortable, and you're going to see, like, after a while, it adds up, right? I mean, like, I remember when I started the YouTube channel, it was like everybody has to post their first video, right? Or create a first PDF file they can send to a client, right? Or maybe start building like a survey. I will actually show you examples of kind of things that I have in my world, but it's like, I remember the first one I built was like Google Forms, and then I went to like a tool that offers sort of like a nicer version. But like, if you're gonna sit there and you want to go with like a super advanced tool on day one, just be realistic. Like, you first just have an asset. It doesn't have to be perfect. It has to exist. And then once it exists, you're going to sit again for half an hour and make it better. Right. And then you're going to create another one that's kind of, maybe not top quality, but like, you're going to then sit down again and improve it. And now you have two great, assets that you can share with clients. It takes time. That's what I'm saying. Like, if like a super aggressive timeline, we have to say 3 months on something that's if you want to extend that timeline, like, sure, take your time. It's going to take longer. And that's all it is. Like, be realistic. Some people are busy. Some people have, lives with kids and wives and husbands and schools and what else. It's just life, right? So just make sure that you start with something that you feel comfortable with and just show up. Don't wait for perfection. Let momentum build naturally over time. Your brand doesn't grow from big launches. It grows from small, consistent actions. Remember, focus on the action and the result will come, right? Like, if you play the good game, the score will improve. So otherwise, you'll just be sitting looking at the scoreboard thinking like, oh, this sucks that it's low. Like, just play the game. The score will take care of itself. Start with one asset, show up regularly, watch it compound over time. It's true. It just takes time. Now, at the very end, I just wanted to like flash a couple things for you guys in terms of examples. So I already mentioned like what's in my world, kind of, but I just wanted to show you like YouTube channel, right? This is for those that like want to hop on 21,000 subscribers right now, and I have anything from interviews to like knowledge I share to the live videos. There's some reels, there's lives, interviews, posts that I do. Like I was talking about the mic 2 days ago. Actually, yesterday I was posting pictures. Some additional channels that you can use. So I share information there. I also produce PDF files for my clients. Surviving the Valley of Despair, Photographer's Guide to Pushing Through Dips and Reaching Mastery. Not everybody has time to watch the video. Sometimes they can just quietly read the PDF. So that's what I do. I put together those little assets. So when somebody has a question, I can send it to them. And I started with just one. And now I don't know, I think I have maybe 30 different lead magnets that I can share with clients that are sort of polished and like give them a lot of information, give them links to where to find me, right? So that's another example. School community. This is exactly. I'm just saying that again. ProImageAcademy.com/school, and you end up here. This is under construction right now, and the first level absolutely free. Everything that you have to know, that you have to have to reach monetization, to reach your first client and know exactly what to do. And then I take you guys to another level where we talk about brand and business and automation, right? And only then you can decide like, hey, is this a good fit for me? So it's not like you're jumping in there and buying a course that you may not need or never revisit. It's just like a gradual growth. I'm a big fan of like testing first before you commit, because I've taken enough courses where I know sometimes it's a hit or miss. Like you buy a course and like, oh, yeah, wasn't that like too late now? So this is what I do with school community. There's a lot of information there. And then with the online survey, like for my students, I say, hey, listen, before we jump in, like it's not a generic advice. Hop in here and the online assessment will help you understand where you are. We'll talk about like, your tech, your business, client interaction, lead generation. Do you know how to do that? Do you know, about like how to build your business brand? Do you know enough about like content strategies? And what they do is they take the assessment, they fill out questions. I then know exactly what to like, where we need to start. Because the thing is like, we have time as a resource and we have to make sure we put that resource to a good use so that you guys can make, progress as fast as you can. Because it's not the same advice for a lot of people. One may have struggled with camera, where the other one is like, I totally know the camera, but I have a problem with like my automation platform because I need to send out emails and I need to set up my campaigns, or maybe it's Facebook ads or whatever it is. It's like everybody has a different question or problem that we need to resolve. So that's exactly what happens there. This is what did we spend here? 57 minutes talking about assets. Well, we talked about the mic too. But you guys, hopefully this was helpful. This is it for today. Next week, do I have a topic? I think it's something with branding. Visit back. Like I said, school communities where please go and join. But other than that, I will be here, which means Facebook and YouTube, on Thursday, 12 p.m. Today was a little later, but it's New Year's, so I apologize for that. But normally 12 p.m. on Thursday, I'm here sharing the golden BBs, right? So thanks for today. I appreciate you guys joining and listening to me brag. Other than that, again, Happy New Year. Good luck with building the assets, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.